is a man alone at sea, miles from help, and to save his life, he'll be forced to operate on himself. These brave souls are sliding down a treacherous slope on 13-ton logs. See why they risk getting crushed like bugs. Roger Riddell is about to enter the riskiest motorcycle race of his life. That's because this biker's attempting to go the distance, riding backwards. Plus, Henry Lizard Lover lives with 30 reptiles. But wait till you see what he can make them do. And the water stunt's so dangerous, no one's even dared to attempt it until now. Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
This is Ripley's, and the next hour will be filled with amazing people and their unbelievable stories. For starters, you're all alone on a sailboat out in the middle of the ocean, and an infection on your elbow begins to spread. You now have to make what may be the most disturbing decision of your life. Pick up a scalpel and slice yourself open, or lose your arm to gangrene. Now, the man who had to make this decision speaks for the first time in another Ripley's exclusive. Viktor Yazikov is a man alone at sea, 1,000 miles from anyone. He's trying to win the world's most prestigious solo sailing race. But Viktor is also in a race against time. Because as this video shows, an infected wound on his arm threatens to kill him unless he performs emergency surgery on himself. Viktor has been a competitive sailor for almost 40 years. So when the opportunity to represent his home country of Russia came along, it was a dream come true.
First time I read about first single-handed transatlantic race, I started to dream about it. And I started to prepare myself for it.
But only a week before the race, while working on his boat, Viktor suffers a nasty gash on his elbow. It's a serious injury, but it is not going to stop him. So Viktor's doctor offers him a stern warning.
He told me that be really careful, don't put any load, but when your life depends on your effort, see, you cannot take care about elbow. It's just impossible.
Despite cleaning and antibiotics, in just a few short weeks, the elbow becomes severely infected. Barely able to eat or sleep, Viktor falls back in the race standings to 8th place. Ironically, the same video camera on board documenting the race ends up capturing Viktor's intense predicament on tape. His only live contact with the outside world is a wireless laptop. Back on shore, the race's official doctor doesn't like the emails he's receiving.
On asking him a few more questions, he described exactly what I was afraid of, an enlarging abscess on the point of his elbow, indicating that the infection was spreading.
If the infection remains untreated, gangrene will set in, spreading quickly and become life-threatening within a few short days, long before Viktor can reach shore. He needs to act now. But will Viktor be capable of operating on himself, or will the sailor's inexperienced hands only do more damage? His only hope? An email explaining how to save himself.
The basic thing I needed him to do was to cut into his arm with a scalpel. I knew he had no anesthesia, and I knew the challenge before me was to get him to cut into the spot that was nearest to the abscess, start to drain the infection, instead of making multiple incisions searching for the infection.
On the 41st day of the race, Viktor sets his course and ties off the wheel. Then he prepares the equipment and himself for the painful procedure. If he cuts too far on either side, he risks bleeding out of control. Without anesthesia of any kind, Viktor literally takes his life into his own hands and makes the incision.
I did it pretty good way, so I just got the right thing, the right depth, the right length. But I've been really amazed about the power. This liquid inside just power out like a fire hose.
The infection drains quickly, but there are new complications. Victor has failed to inform his doctor that he's been taking aspirin to reduce inflammation. Now it's thinned Victor's blood to the point where it won't clot. Victor, panicked and untrained, ties a tourniquet around his elbow, cutting off circulation to the rest of his arm. Dr. Carlin must act quickly to reverse the situation.
His arm had gone lifeless, white, he had no sensation and no strength. And then as an afterthought, he described the use of these bungee cords to stop the bleeding.
Dr. Carlin tells Victor to immediately remove the makeshift tourniquet and apply direct pressure to the wound. Soon, blood begins circulating and Victor is on his way to recovery. After completing his agonizing solo surgery, Victor actually completes the 27,000-mile around-the-world race in 168 days, coming in 4th place. And though he didn't win, Victor's in good health, and in the end, he learned a lot about himself.
I discovered my own ability that I can do this kind of race at the highest level possible. So I found the necessary kind of abilities that I have from nature to do these things. And this is the most important thing for me.
The doctor says Victor was just days away from blood poisoning, so that self-surgery was very necessary. Now, motocross is one of the most physically demanding of all sports. But what makes Roger Riddell so unbelievable is that he does it backwards.
Roger Riddell has been riding and racing motorcycles for more than 40 years, and in that time, he's learned to do it all.
I hate to brag, but I just feel like I'm the best.
Now, Roger will prove it by competing against an entire field of veteran motocross racers. But in a sport that requires cat-like reflexes and the ability to change course on a dime, Roger will attempt the unthinkable. Believe it or not, tonight, for the very first time ever, this daredevil will be the only racer riding his bike backwards.
I'm going to be sitting on my motorcycle, and I will hope that when I cross the checker flag, I'm going to be looking at them. That's my challenge.
Roger's been perfecting his technique for over 30 years. In fact, he's known as Mr. Backwards for his ability to jump cars heading in reverse. Roger built his first motorcycle when he was only 14, with $50 and a garage full of spare parts. And he soon realized riding it backwards was a good way to show off.
I just rode it backwards to get the girls' attention, you know, and I was a neighborhood crazy.
And while he's been the best in the world ever since, when it comes to going backwards, Roger falls a lot. And all this hard riding hasn't come without a price.
You know, I've been breaking a lot of bones practicing and learning how to do this. I've got probably 8 pounds of metal in my body. I've had 2 plates in my arm. I've got scars down my arms to show it. And my elbow, I've had my elbow tore off, and I've had both of my collarbones broke, probably 10 times each.
Roger faces the possibility of getting hurt again tonight, because in addition to the obvious dangers involved with backwards jumping, potentially he faces getting run over by his race competitors. Even heading in the right direction, falls happen all the time in these events. Standard motocross bikes are too light to race backwards, so Roger is forced to ride a 425-pound Harley-Davidson, twice the weight of other bikes. The extra weight means more stability, but it's a lot harder to turn.
Very tough.
Before the event, a group of the track's best riders give backwards racing a try and find that it's trickier than it looks. As race time nears, Roger looks on as the finishing touches are put on the track.
I don't want to run into nobody and wreck nobody. You know, I got to look over my shoulder, turn the throttle, and hang on to it. So, you know, it's a big challenge.
Nearly 1,000 fans have crowded the stands to watch Roger compete.
I'm pretty well planning on stomping him because I can't see getting beat by no Harley no matter what you do.
The racers start to line up.
Start your bike.
The bikes are in place, and the race is on. Roger takes an early lead. His big bike blows past the competition on the straightaways, but bogs down in the heavy ruts of the raceway's sharp turns. As the riders near the finish line, Roger puts on a final burst of speed. Amazingly, he crosses the finish line right alongside the leaders. And while this kind of riding takes a toll on a 57-year-old body, Roger doesn't plan to quit anytime soon.
I'm not going to stop riding till they put the lid over the box, because this is my life. I mean, you know, I'm 57 now. Why quit?
We'll be right back.
Next, this man claims he can shove a kernel of corn up his nose and pull it out his eye. Plus, the fancy French restaurant serving up gourmet food for you and your four-legged friend.
Fred adores pâté.
And they call him the aquatic kamikaze. But what he's trying now could wipe him out.
If I were to make a mistake, the pressure of the water going in through your nose could blow out your eardrums.
The risky feat he's waited 10 years to try. Next.
Now we go to the world of water skiing, where stunts like barefoot and backward skiing are commonplace. But have you ever seen a man ski on his hands with a bikini-clad woman sitting on his back? That's something new. Around southern Florida, this water skier is known as the aquatic kamikaze, pulling off some pretty radical maneuvers. But today for Ripley's, he'll try a move that could end in disaster, skiing on his hands with his face only inches from the water. And he'll attempt it with a full-grown woman on his back.
If I were to make a mistake and get my nose down in the water, the pressure of the water going in could blow out your eardrums.
41-year-old Mike Seipel has been testing the waters his whole life, taking his first ride when he was only 4. By 10, Mike was already barefooting it. But before he hit his teen years, he'd already hit hard times.
When I was 12 years old, I got my arm caught in a rope. And when you fall barefooting, you kind of roll, you tumble. It almost took my arm off, and my arm was swollen about big as my rest of my body.
Despite the danger, Mike persevered. To date, he's earned 7 titles as barefoot jumping champion. Mike is also known as the man who invented hand skiing. But it's so dangerous, he hasn't done it for 10 years. And attempting it with someone on top will be the hardest feat he's ever tried. Helping him with his seemingly impossible task is another whiz on the water, 4-time barefoot champ Jennifer Schwank.
Well, Mike called me up a few weeks ago and kind of coaxed me into coming out here and trying this. And today's going to be our first shot, so we're just going to give it a try, and hopefully everything goes well. Right over the top of you?
Yeah, right straight over the top of me.
After working out the moves on land, they're ready to hit the water. Conditions are good. It's go time. As Mike moves out onto the hoist, he maneuvers into position, hooking his foot securely in the loop. Without the proper grip, Mike could lose his balance, risking serious injury. Once he's ready, he turns over, facing the water. This is the driver's cue to take off. Once moving, Jennifer begins to carefully crawl out on the boom. A tough job considering that the boat is going 37 miles an hour and constantly jarring them up and down. Mike is now very close to realizing his goal. With Jennifer sitting on his back, Mike displays incredible balance and awesome strength as he pushes himself into a handstand. With the hard part over, Jennifer makes her way back to the boat. And Mike carefully drops into the water. Proving whether on skis, feet, or face, Mike Seipel can do it all. When guests walk into the house of Martin Robinson, they are shocked to find the place crawling with ants, frogs, and even slugs in the shower. But Martin believes his little friends make perfect housekeepers.
Homeowner Martin Robinson knows his bugs and amphibians. In fact, he understands them so well, he has them cleaning his house.
They do quite an efficient job of it.
For more than a decade, Martin has studied bugs at Sydney's Australian Museum. But his obsession to create a home that's a self-contained, bug-filled battleground has been a dream since he was a kid.
I'd certainly always known that for every animal or plant, there's usually something that will eat it. I've just encouraged the things that eat the pests and the plants that I don't want.
And while to the untrained eye it may look overrun with crawling creatures, Martin's home is actually a carefully thought out and well-maintained biosphere of insects and amphibians. Here's how it works. In the grounds around the house, spiders control mosquitoes. Ants are brought in to eat termites. Of course, wasps are then used to control the ant population. To guard the inner perimeter of the house, Martin employs the stealthy night-crawling gecko.
The geckos come out onto the walls of a night time, and they provide sort of like a predator moat around the house. So any insect like a cockroach or a moth or a beetle that wants to get inside the house has to run the gauntlet of the geckos, and usually they don't make it.
The lucky insect that actually makes it through the geckos and into the house find their problems are just beginning.
If they do manage to get inside, and the frogs eat them.
And seen here through the use of special night vision cameras are the shower slime-eating slugs. Working 7 days a week, these night creatures keep the bathroom spotless, clearly enjoying their work.
They're about the only things I know that will actually clean the silicon liner of mold.
Martin admits, at first he had a hard time getting the right balance of predators and prey. But now things are running smoothly in the house where Mother Nature does the dirty work.
It's become far more stable, and there's very little problem and very little we have to do.
There's just one final task Martin needs to train his insect helpers to complete.
If it could do the dishes as well, it would be great.
Martin has been so successful at keeping his house free of unwanted pests, he sometimes has to bring home cockroaches just to keep his frogs fed.
Next, find out why these men risk getting their arms and legs torn off riding gigantic, out-of-control logs. Plus, the high-tech motorized skates that'll send you soaring through traffic. And one muscle man's attempt to make history, towing a 15-ton truck loaded with rowdy college kids. It's all ahead on Ripley's. Amazing stories and unbelievable people. Ripley's Believe It or Not. After 6 months of trial and error and a little Yankee ingenuity, machine shop owner Tim Gendel develops a prototype for a one-of-a-kind mode of transportation, motorized inline skates. Tim created moto skates modeled after motorized go-pads, and those who've tried them are instantly addicted. After getting the hang of inline skates, users have discovered they can cruise at an astonishing speed of 40 miles an hour. The skates, which are just hitting the market, sell for a pricey $700 a pair. The standard two-stroke engines allow for plenty of tricks, including clearing 12-foot concrete dividers. The economical moto skates can get up to 100 miles per tank of gas. But if you plan to take these skates for a spin, don't leave home without your helmet. Believe it or not.
In America, we have log rolling contests. In Japan, they have log riding. Here, you fall off a log and you get wet. There, you fall off a log and you could die. God bless America.
It's a spectacle that draws thousands of visitors from around the world, not only for its beauty, but also for its danger. That's because these men are riding titanic logs down a treacherous hill the length of a football field. 13-ton logs that could crush them like insects. For over 1,200 years, the men of this shrine in northern Japan have gathered in a life-threatening reenactment to honor their brave forefathers. Holy men, who once conquered monster logs just like these to construct their temple. The ceremonies begin late in March with a selection of 8 huge trees. Once blessed, they're stripped and prepared for a brutal 10-mile journey where, amazingly, the logs are dragged by hand. The courageous souls reach their first dangerous hurdle while attempting to cross the Mayagawa River. Plunging into frigid waters, they risk drowning to tug the heavy load to the other side. Once reaching their destination, the monks must decide which men are worthy of risking death. Those deemed lucky enough to ride must be at least 30 years old and must possess strong character and bravery. This man, Oikawa, who has survived the hazardous ride many times, is pleased to find out that his son Kunihiko is amongst the chosen. It is now up to Kunihiko to carry on the tradition. With a swift slice of the lines, the monstrous timbers tear down the mountain. But it's a 30-second display of bravery that carries a price. Injuries from collisions are common. In fact, this man would surely have been crushed to death by the huge timber had he not accidentally fallen into a crevasse that saved his life. Luckily, there are no fatalities this year, and Oikawa's son, Kunihiko, manages to hold on and survive the risky ride. It's a tremendous honor for their entire family. And for those who weren't able to hang on, they'll have to wait a while for the next festival.
The log riding festival happens only once every 6 years.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals. Paris, France, a city known for chic boutiques and fine food. But one French bistro has become famous not just for its cuisine, but also for its customers. Believe it or not, this restaurant has gone to the dogs. Literally.
Fred adores pate, tortilla chips.
He likes his meat medium rare. He'll take it rare. He doesn't like it well done.
Welcome to Chez Alexa Daniel, where man's best friend sits at the table with his master to enjoy some of the best food Paris has to offer.
Les chiens sont habitués à leur pâté ordinaire. Ils voient sûrement une différence, bien sûr. Ça se voit dans leur comportement.
The Canine Cafe has been open for just 1 year and has become the rage of Paris, with eager dog lovers panting for an open table. Meals average around $15 a plate, but the best part, doggy dishes are always half price. Unbelievably, the pampered pooches dine on fine china and silver. There are no water bowls here. The menu includes chicken and rice, followed by every dog's favorite, a hearty meatball platter. And in case you're wondering, the restaurant keeps special plates for its canine customers.
I don't worry about hygiene like that. I don't think it's true. I mean, we live with the dog. Why shouldn't we eat with it?
And what meal would be complete without something sweet? So for dessert, the dogs finish off with a carob cookie.
It's just so typically French. You certainly see the dogs are better than foreign tourists.
Next, the shutterbug with an uncanny power over his pets, getting his lizards to pose for some pretty peculiar portraits.
They can get out of the poses anytime they like.
Plus, J.C. Payne owns the biggest ball of its kind anywhere, but wait till you see what it's made of.
I just could not believe it, so I had to follow it.
And this guy's packing his nostrils with corn, and he claims he'll work them up his nose and pick them out of his eyes. The unbelievable act that'll have you squirming in your seat. Next. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Now, there are all kinds of balls. String balls, rubber band balls, even hairballs. This, the world's largest hairball, came from a cow. And in the case of one dedicated gentleman in Texas, he's been rolling up a fence material that they call devil's rope for years. And apparently, he too is having a ball. J.C. Payne is a retired bricklayer from Denton, Texas. And this 80-year-old Southern gentleman's fascination for barbed wire will blow your mind.
Well, I've hunted wire all up into Kansas and all over the United States, Vermont, New York, and everywhere. We really call it cooning for wire.
J.C. started collecting scraps of barbed wire 34 years ago.
It was 1967 that I started collecting barbed wire.
But over the last 4 years, his hobby has taken on gigantic proportions. Today, the Texan is proud of this, the largest barbed wire ball ever made by man. It weighs nearly 12 tons and, if unraveled, would stretch over 600 miles. The ball was created using a riding mower and a homemade spooler. JC and his son Jody actually wrap the wire by circling the ball again and again and again.
Okay.
JC's swirling mass of metal hasn't received much attention sitting in the center of this 10-acre farm, but that's all about to change. JC will use this forklift and flatbed trailer to move his barbed wire for the first time.
But right now, we don't even know for sure if it'll even lift it.
After an hour of finagling and several frustrating attempts, the cumbersome ball finally budges. Now it can be loaded onto a trailer to be transported downtown for its debut. Once unloaded and put in its place, it immediately attracts a flock of amazed townspeople.
Anything in the middle of it besides a lot of hard work?
This barbed wire. Barbed wire.
You know, I think my dad's probably a great spokesman for barbed wire collecting because he is a people person and he loves talking with people and he loves talking about the hobby that he loves.
The residents of Denton can't help but be fascinated with JC's unique creation, stopping to take pictures and show the overgrown ball of barb to their kids. Others even jumped in their cars to get a better look.
I saw this ball going down the highway, and I just could not believe it, so I had to follow it.
So what's next for the man whose skin-shredding ball takes the love of barbed wire to a whole new level? JC says he wants to make it even bigger. Not for a record and not for the money. No, it's much more rewarding than that.
I know people from all over the United States that collects barbed wire, and I've been in contact with them. And really, the main thing in collecting barbed wire is the friendship of it. Collecting friends.
JC C is not alone in his hobby. There are an estimated 3,000 barbed wire enthusiasts in the United States who collect and catalog over 2,000 types of barbed wire. You can visit one of the 6 barbed wire museums, including the world's largest display in La Crosse, Kansas. Interested? Well, then you can order this, a barbed wire beginner's kit with over 50 samples to get you started. Just watch your fingers.
John Shaw is a man who enjoys his popcorn, not the flavor. He doesn't even pop his. John's the only man in the world who's found a way to put a regular kernel of popcorn up his nose and, believe it or not, have it come out of his eye socket.
It's up into the cavity now. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
And in an unbelievable act for Ripley's, he'll try to go double barrel for the very first time and attempt 2 kernels of corn in both eyes at once. At his home in Poughkeepsie, New York, John first got the idea for his eye-popping ability by studying books on human anatomy. He was surprised to find a passageway known as the nasolacrimal duct that leads from the nose to the eye. Normally used for draining tears, John wanted to know what else this little-known body part could handle. And after a lot of experimentation, John and his popcorn kernels were soon the talk of his hometown.
When I first time ever did it successfully, I was exhilarated. I was like, yay, ran out and showed my friends right away.
Since then, John's been showing anyone who will watch. But until now, he's been content using just one eye. For Ripley's, he's attempting a first.
This time I'm really gonna freak out by doing 2, one up each nostril, coming out both eyes at the same time.
What John does is dangerous. The duct the kernels pass through is very sensitive. It's filled with mucous membranes made for tears, not corn. If they get stuck, only a painful surgery will be able to remove them. Don't try this at home. John begins by inhaling the 2 kernels. Using amazing muscle control.
Here we come, you ready?
He moves the corn on its short upward journey. And unbelievably, he does it, both kernels at once. John Shaw, with his eye-popping talent, is one unbelievable act.
A strong bond between people and their pets is not so unbelievable. That is, unless your pets are iguanas, and the bond enables you to freeze lizards in their tracks. Freeze.
Henry Schiff is so obsessed with lizards, he legally changed his name to Henry Lizard Lover. And believe it or not, he can make them pose like fashion models to create his one-of-a-kind photographs.
It's a passion for me with the lizards. I really have come to feel like the lizards are my family.
But not everyone feels as comfortable with these cold-blooded creatures as Henry. While most people do their best to avoid lizards, Henry's enjoyed their company for over 30 years.
Most people are very afraid of lizards. There's a lot of lizard prejudice.
But lizards are always welcome at Henry's. From the kitchen, to the bath, to the bedroom. Henry's 4-legged friends have free run of the place.
Right now I have about 30 favorite lizards in my home, and they're in various rooms of the house. I don't keep them in cages. I just let them out loose in the house.
Henry enjoys being with his lizards so much, he often brings them along while he's running errands.
When I go out to the bank or if I go anywhere in my car, I'm always taking 1 or 2 lizards with me. I did get pulled over one time, and I was able to talk my way out of it because the lizards were kind of charming.
And Henry has discovered, despite their cold-blooded reputation, lizards are a good way to warm up the ladies.
Maybe that's a reason why I take the lizards out with me a lot, because they attract women, and I've met some great women. It's been great.
Makes you want to fall in love.
Henry's love for his lizards also allows for a very unusual working relationship.
She's got lovely hands, lovely skin.
Lizards aren't known for following directions, yet Henry poses his in chairs, in pairs, and stacked high for family affairs.
There's no tricks, no hypnosis, no rubbing. The lizards are completely awake and they can get out of the poses or chair anytime they like.
He uses the results from these reptilian photo shoots to offer a unique line of greeting and postcards. And it's obvious watching him work.
Right there, hold it, please. Oh, it's a good one.
Henry Lizard Lover is one man who enjoys his job.
Some people think they're really ugly, and I think that that's their lack of insight. I happen to think this is a beautiful face. It's like a mosaic on the face. They're really like fantastic artwork.
Henry says the only problem with the male iguanas is that they sometimes grab his leg in an attempt to mate.
Still ahead, packing 25 people in a truck is a feat in itself. Now, strongman John Wooten will try to tow them into the record books. It's all ahead on Ripley's. The problem of speeding is as old as the automobile itself. Neither citations nor stiff fines slow down these speed demons. So one French town is trying a radical new approach. Believe it or not, they've created a road that plays a tune when you go the speed limit. This musical road was made by embedding space-age plastic sticks and discs at regular intervals in the asphalt. The strips then act like little music makers, creating a distinct four-note melody when the car passes over at the proper speed. If the driver isn't going the legal speed, the nice music turns into an irritating noise. Currently, the French are keeping an eye on their experiment in progress. They hope one day their musical road will be the answer to bringing harmony to all the highways of the world.
At 313 pounds, John Wooten is an intimidating figure. And when he says that he's the strongest man on earth, naturally, you want to believe the guy. But here at Ripley's, we need proof. So we sent cameras to Daytona Beach, Florida, where this modern-day Charles Atlas was very happy to flex his muscles.
Daytona Beach, world famous for its sun, sand, and another homegrown attraction, world-famous strongman John Wooten. He's made a career out of performing impossible feats of strength. And now for Ripley's, this mountain of a man will take on his greatest challenge. With his bare hands, he'll attempt to pull this 29,000-pound Mack truck 40 feet in under 30 seconds. But that's not all. Going along for the ride will be these 25 college kids, bringing the total weight to an unbelievable 32,000 pounds. John wasn't always the big man he is today. In fact, as a kid growing up in Boston, he was the classic 98-pound weakling.
I was so skinny. I was the perfect billboard for the Charles Atlas thing. I sent away for a Charles Atlas course, and I started doing dynamic tension.
Patterning himself after his idol, and long before it was fashionable, John was in the gym, working out every day.
Well, I did a lot of boxing when I was in high school and junior high school. I also did a lot of gymnastics, rope climbing, rings, and played a little football.
And here in the hot sun of Daytona Beach, he'll need every ounce of that strength. Unbelievably, he's attempting to pull the cab of this full-sized big rig packed with college kids 40 agonizing feet, and he'll try to do it in under 30 seconds. It's the most weight John's ever attempted.
You ready to do this?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
Despite the rowdy audience, John remains completely focused. The clock is set, and with a mighty breath, the big man digs in and starts moving the metal mountain. Inch by grueling inch, John keeps the truck rolling. But can he make it 40 feet? At 10 seconds, John's looking strong and steady. 20-second mark, the strain is definitely showing. Then, with an amazing surge of strength, he powers through the remaining distance. With 3 seconds still on the clock, he's done it. John Wooten becomes the first man ever to successfully pull 32,000 pounds, a distance of 40 feet, in under 30 seconds. A full day of work, but this is one strong man who's already planning his next record-breaking feat.
If I want to pull the shuttle Enterprise that was given from Nassau to the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., believe it? Believe it.
Next, they look like lounge chairs. But find out why these creepy couches were used to put the dead on display. The morbid story, straight out of the Wild West. When we venture into the Ripley's vault. Next.
The Wild West was much wilder than we can imagine. So wild, in fact, that things like this were invented. Looks like a nice outdoor chaise lounge, but this is actually a mortician's cooling board, a piece of furniture that allowed for easy body identification in the very likely chance that an unknown gunslinger came out on the wrong end of a shootout. Gunfights between total strangers were so common in some towns that bodies were displayed in the hopes that some friend or relative might make a positive identification. And this wasn't done for altruistic reasons. No, morticians were looking for someone to pay the bill before victims were buried on Boot Hill. Unbelievable? Believe it.
She was an amateur filmmaker.
Action! Off with the head!
And a professional killer.
She's murdering the actors for real.
It's only a movie. Cut! That's a wrap.
All About Evil premieres tonight at 10. Only on Chiller. Scary good.
There are certain things the human body really doesn't want you to do. And there's some people who will do those things for money. Fear Factor, tomorrow at 7 only on Chiller. Scary good. Chiller presents a shocking new investigation.
Up until this point, you've not heard what really happened in that house. It was the oldest son, shot his mother, shot his father.
Things were moving and flying all around the house. It unfolded big wings.
You saw the films, but they lived the horror.
What I witnessed in that house still sticks with me today.
New evidence you won't believe.
These noises kept coming closer.
Did you guys hear that?
I don't know if I'll ever get over that scare.
An original special, Real Fear, the truth behind the movies. Premieres Sunday, March 11th at 8, only on Chiller. Scary good.